Speed and agility training is one of the most important things you could do as an athlete, especially if you're playing a field sport, to make it so you have better change of direction, have quick feet, be able to accelerate and decelerate well. And what we want to do today is just go over some cone drills that are super beneficial for athletes. And this could be from a kind of beginner level is where we're going to start. And then we're going to, as the video goes on, progress to make it so the exercises and the drills become more difficult. So we'll start off with the first one. I just have a set of cones that are spread out about probably about 5 to 10 yards, and each cone is about 2 to 3 yards apart from each other. And you can just see I'm just really getting my feet to move as quickly as I can as I'm getting myself to go in between the cones. The idea here is to really just be able to just work on how fast my feet can move, and then also be able to swivel my hips as I'm doing that as well. This is another common drill. This is called the 5-10-5. So we have a cone in the middle. We'll have a cone at 5 yards and then another cone at 5 yards. So you're going to run 5 yards, run back 10 yards, go back 5 yards. The idea is we want to be able to get to this first cone in 4 steps, decelerate, be quick in pushing back off. Then we'll get back into 8 steps to go the next 10 yards. Again, be nice and quick off of that push off leg. And then we'll go another 4 steps to get back into the 5 yards. That's how you could run the fastest time that you can. And then this one's going to be the L drill, similar to with the setup where you're going to have one cone that's 5 yards apart here. And then you'll have another cone that is another 5 yards apart here. And the idea is you come and touch the first cone, you go back, touch again. Then you go here and you go around this cone, figure 8, and then stay on the outside as you come back for the finish. Another example, 5, around, figure 8, and then finish. This is the figure 8 drill. So all I'm doing is, again, I have cones that are 5 yards apart, and I'm just going to be figure eighting around the cones. I just want to keep everything nice and compact here. This is working my change of direction, my ability to accelerate and decelerate well as be able to get around a cone in a small spot. This one is going to be another example of the figure 8. It's just now I'm going to turn and run. So again, 5 yards apart, and I'm just going to open up, turn and run, touch, come back, turn the other way, turn and run, touch, go back, open up. This is a T drill, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to side shuffle to the side, touch, come back, open up my hips, come back, touch, get back to the cone, side shuffle, touch, come back, open up the hips, come back. And you could really do that multiple times too. So you go here and then open up, and then you can just continue to do the same exercise. You don't have to stop after here. I usually do these like for sets of 3 where I'll just go to the side, come back, touch, side, go back, touch, and just continue to alternate right to left side. And then I'm calling this one a crown drill. This is going to be very similar. So side shuffle, now open up, turn and run, get to the cone, touch, come back, back pedal, come here, touch, side shuffle, back, open up, touch, and then finish through. So a wide variety of different things that we got going on there. First it's side shuffle, then it's open up, turn and run, stop, back pedal, side shuffle, open up, turn and run, and then finish. This one's going to be a version of the W drill. I'll just call this one like a normal W drill, where the cones are about 5 yards apart and they're shaped kind of like a W, just a very big and multiple W's stacked on top of each other. We're just getting around the cone and then finish, and each cone's about 5 yards apart. This one's going to be a variation of that, where now the cones are only about 3 yards apart. And so now it's a little bit quicker of a stick. You only take a few steps, and it's a little bit more of a stick as opposed to getting all the way around. So just a little variation. This one's a little bit better for like a receiver. This one is going to be wider, longer. This is another good receiver variation. So now the cones are 10 yards apart. Run, get around, have a little bit more time to be able to speed up here, to be able to get around. This is a good drill for, again, receivers, but also this is a really good drill for like soccer players, things like that, who have a little bit longer time to be able to accelerate. This one's going to be another variation, but this one we're going to have a back pedal with it. So now the cones are at 5 yards. Accelerate, stop, back pedal, accelerate, stop, back pedal. And we're doing that. And the first one I started off with running first and then backpedaling, where we could also start with backpedaling and then running. Either one is both the same drill, just a little bit different of a start. And this is going to be similar to the T drill. So we're sprinting up, decelerate, stop, side shuffle, turn to run. Speed up or sprint to the line and turn to run. Again, this would be, you could do this similar to the T drill. You could just have side shuffle, turn to run, side shuffle, turn to run, or you could do the L drill where you just have one side that you're opening and then you just switch sides. So then you continue to open up to the left. This is going to be like a traditional box drill. So I'm just going to sprint up, side shuffle, back pedal, side shuffle, sprint, side shuffle, back pedal, side shuffle. Here's a box drill variation where we're going to turn and run. So we're going to sprint up, side shuffle, turn and run, get back, side shuffle, turn and run, get back, side shuffle, turn and run, get back. So these are just going to be practicing square cuts. So I'm sprinting. Each one of these cones are 5 yards apart, cutting off the outside foot, accelerating, decelerate, cut off the outside foot, accelerate, working just the different steps you're going to end up cutting off of each leg twice. So here I'm cutting off my left, cutting off the left, cutting off the right, and cutting off the right. This one is going to be a bit of a variation here. You can call it the V drill. So I'm going to cut. Now I'm going to get around this cone, come here. So I have two cones 5 yards apart. This one's going to be in the middle in between them. Get around, and then finish, right? So I have 4 cones that are 5 yards apart, and then I have one cone that's in the middle there. And I'm just getting to one cone, square cut, get around, and then finish. And I could do this one I'm going through it a couple times. So you don't have to only do it one time. You could do multiple here. This one's a star drill. So we have a cone. These cones are going to be 5 yards apart. This is going to be 10 yards apart. And this is going to be 10 yards apart. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and start on one cone, go to the outside of the first cone, and then we're going to be kind of figurating around this cone. Again, figurating around this cone, and then finish. Okay, so I start first 5 yards, turn around the outside of it. Then here, I'm getting around the inside part of the cone, and then I'm getting around the inside part of the cone, and then I'm finishing. This is a really good drill. Basketball, football, any type of field sport, really good drill. And then this is going to be the last one here. This is probably the most difficult one. So we have a cone in the middle. These cones are about 7 yards apart. And then these cones are about 5 yards apart. Going back 5 yards. So this is going to be 7 cones altogether. 3 here, 3 here. Each one of these are going to be 5 yards apart. Each one of these cones 5 yards apart, 5 yards apart. And then this one is going to be 7 yards away from that middle cone. And we're just going to go and sprint up, touch. This is better to have with a coach, to be honest with you. So typically when I have an athlete, I'll just stand here and I'll just be pointing to the different cones that you want to try to get to and really focus on allowing them to open up the hips. But the key thing is we want to be able to get these types of movements. So I'm sprinting here, touching, opening up, and then now I have to change direction, open up, touch, change direction, open up, touch, come back. Now I'm going to do the same thing going to the other side. Touch, open up, touch with the right, open up, touch, and then turn and run. And then finish. I'm going to show it again. Here, touch, open up, touch, open up, get back, touch, open up. So just a wide variety of different ways that you're kind of challenging your hips to be able to open up. Again, this is good for football players, soccer players, basketball players, really any type of field sport, lacrosse, all that type of good stuff. Just to work on speed and agility. This could even be a good thing for track and field athletes if you're just looking to work on just some change of direction stuff. It's a great workout. I do think that working on that quick feet, right? There's a lot of people that struggle with their acceleration, their ability to be able to get to their top speed well. And a lot of times that has to do with how well you're able to stabilize and how quick you are essentially with your feet. And this is a great way to be able to work on quickness within your feet, make it so you can get off the toes quickly, get off your feet quickly,